morning, Rancho. Shawn Gordon here, your benevolent host, and we are trying something to keep the show going and to highlight the local businesses. And so this time we're going to record a Zoom meeting and really keep that social distancing at a maximum. So I am here with Avital Shuster, who is a pediatric occupational therapist at from OTPlan.com, and her clinic is Tumble and Dots. So Avital, thank you for coming and sharing this time with me, and we'd love to find out more about what you're doing. I don't want to get it wrong, so I'm going to let you freeform a little bit. So
thank you. Thank you, Shawn. Thanks for having me. Good morning, everybody. Hi, Rancho. It's so nice to be here. I'm Avital Shuster, a pediatric occupational therapist. I've been working as a pediatric OT for the past 13 years. I can't believe that. And I own a private pediatric clinic in Irvine called Tumble and Dots. We see kids with different diagnoses, and we specialize in sensory processing disorder and sensory integration. I've worked in Irvine Unified School District for years before I opened my private practice, so I have a lot of experience working with kids with their fine motor skills, developmental delays, and all variety of diagnoses. When I was a student, I launched a website called OTPlan.com, which is a search engine for activity ideas. And the reason I did that back then was to help parents come up with activity ideas to help them work on specific skills. So I was told by my supervisor to write different home programs, and the parents were having a really hard time to follow it. So I figured maybe if I give them a way to find what materials they have and come up with a plan for that, an activity for that, it will be easier. And it turned out that it was easier. So the way the website works is you choose the skills that you want to work on, whether it's fine motor skills, sensory skills, eye-hand coordination skills, and you list the materials you have at home. So the beauty of this website is that really it's household materials, very easy materials you can find in your house. And it generates a list of a variety of activities you can do with your kid to promote and develop that specific skill.
So like my daughter, when she was born, she had an eye that wasn't tracking. So we had to like patch the other eye. And it created some interesting sensory things in terms of right-handedness and left-handedness. And it's very difficult to have, you know, a small child keep this patch on their eye all the time. But her brain would never have wired for vision with the other eye. So she had like really serious sensory issues. Like if she put her hand in shaving cream, she would start to gag because of the texture. So we went through a lot of this process, and we had to sort of decide whether she was going to be right-handed or left-handed, because she would happily do things with either hand, and she was slightly left dominant, so we went with the left hand. But there was all sorts of activities we had to do to engage that eye and the brain. So we dealt a lot with what you're talking about. I think that's fantastic what you're doing.
Thank you. Thank you. I know it's, you know, and then especially today, you know, with everything that's going on, we parents, I have my own 3 kids, so we became parents. We became teachers, sorry. And, you know, and those kids that don't get their services at school right now, they became their kids' therapists. So it's really, for me, this, I didn't imagine, like, couldn't think about a better time to help and support parents than now with the website. So we're uploading new content every day, new activities either through the website or through my Instagram page or Facebook page called OTPlan as well.
So we'll put that all in there. So folks, I guess, so like children with autism or other learning disabilities or sensory issues.
Developmental delays.
So that's all the kind of stuff that you provide on there?
Right, right. So I do a lot of activities with my kids. Even typical developing kids can enjoy it. You know, they sit so much in front of the computers now, spend so many hours, more than usual, you know, doing all these classwork and Zoom calls, and taking sensory breaks, taking movement breaks. It's so important for their brain, so important for their regulations, and so important for their attention. So I upload a couple activities every day. The
Okay.
other thing that I have, and you can find it on the website on OTPlan, is I recently launched a couple products, which are the Skills in a Box.
Oh yeah.
Which is a box that has all the materials inside already. So we ship it for free in the United States, and I have specific skills that each box works on. So we have a core strength box, we have a box that works on eye-hand coordination, a box that works on hand strength. I see a lot of kids today have difficulty with hand strength because they are on the computer all the time and they're not doing as many activities with their hands instead of just like, pointing to the screen or pushing the buttons, so their hands are.
Well, hell, just tying shoes is like a good activity, right? Learning how to do knots and braids of, laces, even things like that.
Right. We used to do it a lot as kids. We were so more hands-on. So we get a lot of kids that come to the clinic that have weak muscles in their hands. So those boxes shipped to you. They have all materials included, a nice booklet with all the directions and very colorful with step-by-step directions and illustrations for the kids to follow. And the other one that really works, the other product that really works on sensory as well as hand, fine motor skills and language, our themed Play-Doh kits called Plendos. And they have 3 homemade Play-Doh balls and different loose parts that the kids can play with and interact. And they're themed, so it's like you can get whatever your child likes. So they're unicorns or lizards. There is a learning kit actually for kindergarten readiness that has different numbers and shapes, and I've used it with my kindergartner during this time, and it really helps, not to work on the worksheets, but have her engage in the more
the visual, tactile manipulation. Right. Yeah, because they get really, and I think a lot of us, because we become very computer oriented. I've been on computers since I was 15. And I'm almost 30 now. You're supposed to say, yeah, that looks obvious.
Yeah, I see, I know. Me too.
I've got the Santa Claus beard going on.
I'm trying to wipe my...
Exactly. See? But we kind of lose sight of how, some of these simple things. At one point in time, I had a ton of these boxes that were about like this, like 100 of them for product that, was deprecated. So I had it in my living room because I was pulling things out. And my son would go, he'd make castles out of it. It's like, forget buying anything complex. I could give him 100 cardboard boxes and, their imaginations go wild, but it's very visual. And consequently, my son, he's incredible visually, visual design, color coordination, just he can sculpt, paint, all these things. It's all self-taught. But because, he was always dealing in the physical world in 3 dimensions and putting color schemes together with Legos and, just all sorts of things. And I think we lose track of that. Something that he liked a lot. I always loved magnets when I was a kid. I still actually see. I've had these probably since I was 12, and they're still in my desk.
Now they have the magnet tiles.
Yeah, the magnets are great. And like my son, they were like balls and spokes, and he built like these incredible things. So I was joking with him. I said, why don't you build a dodecahedron? And he freaking built a dodecahedron. So, but he got really interested in it. But again, you understanding shapes, and he didn't have enough pieces. So as he built the outer structure, he built the inner structure, and he had to pull things from the inner structure as he got the outer structure together to maximize the parts. But having to think and move and manipulate all these little things, I think we lose track of how important that is for kids.
I think, society today is so different than it used to be. Again, you and I played outside so many hours in the dirt and, with sticks and stones and
tree houses, digging holes. Yeah.
Unfortunately, today spend more time with technology in front of the TV. I try to limit this for my kids, and it's not always easy. So I know, I hear parents, and I know, and I think this is exactly a good time to kind of help them find the balance. Now that they do school in the morning at home, really take those breaks during the day and give them that sensory play, and then use the afternoons to be more active, go for a walk. You know, it's nice and sunny here now.
Yeah.
Go on a bike ride, you know, explore. We have so many beautiful places here in Orange County, and especially here in RSM, all
Yeah.
these creeks and stuff. And I think it's so important for our kids' development. We see a rise in the kids that come into our clinic. Our clinic is still open. We do see a few kids, you know, wearing masks. We're wearing masks now and gloves, and we have those kids that really need to come in and get their services. We'll do teletherapy, which I think is a great way to educate parents.
Oh, good.
I actually have a kid starting, a new kiddo starting next week. So it's, you know, there is definitely still a need, and we are here to support that. So.
Yeah, well, that's cool. I mean, one of the things I did with my kids is they got an hour of game. And if they wanted more, they could earn it by doing something else, you know, that was physical. And so,
Yes.
you know, guitar, piano, what have you,
Right.
going outside. So that's cool. Well, let's go ahead and wrap up. Is there any final words you'd like to share, or do you think you hit it all?
I think I hit it all. I really encourage parents to check out, you know, the website. If you need any help, any support, you can contact us through OTPlan.com. If you need some ideas for activities, we're here to help you. It's a challenging time for everybody, including our kids. So just
Yeah.
be patient with them as well. You know, they miss their friends, they miss their routine, their teachers. They
Yeah.
miss being outside and seeing everybody. So yeah, just be patient with them and give them, you know, as much support as they need right now.
Yeah, they're not just small adults. They're different.
You
And
know,
when
I
we
read something that says that they are the heroes. They're the real heroes too.
yeah, we can't assume adult behavior from children, and we shouldn't. And I think some of us fall into that trap. So anyway, we will be putting all of your website information and links. We shared some of the photos and video that you gave me earlier on top of this video. And we really appreciate your time and the work that you do. I know how important it is. This was a passion for my dad when I was a kid, you know, working with the Special Olympics, and, you know, it's touched my family. So I really appreciate the work you're doing.
I love it. Yeah, I saw it. It's great. Your dad was an amazing person.
Yes, he
Helped
was.
us a lot.
All right. Well, you have a fantastic day, and thank you for coming. Rancho, thank you for tuning in. Remember, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Gab, Parler, Minds, LinkedIn, BitChute, we're everywhere. So
Thank you so
until
much,
next
Shawn.
time,
Thanks for having me.
take care.
Bye. Bye, everybody.